Hello, happy Thursday. Thank you so much for coming here tonight, everyone. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. It's a time where we can relax and craft together, and we work on a project for about an hour here, and we work on projects from beginning to end. So you can work with me the whole length of the project, ask your questions, and share what you're doing over on the Penguin and Fish Crafters page on Facebook here. So we are continuing with the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt along again tonight, you guys. It is New Block Thursday, which means that we get new blocks released from the authors Pat Sloan and Jane Davidson. They are hosting the quilt along. You can find out more info at thesplendidsampler.com. And there's 5 new blocks today. Usually it's about 4 blocks. 5 today, so I'll share those with you, and we are going to work on one of them. We'll be cutting up some fabric today. Hopefully we'll start sewing as well. So thanks again for joining me, everyone. Let's take a look at these blocks. All right, got the sewing machine out again tonight. It's been a little while. We've been knitting a dishcloth, so I have that knitting on my couch. I'm planning on watching some more Marie Kondo, tidying up and knitting a little bit after we're done here tonight. But all right, Splendid Sampler 2, these are the new blocks for the week. So we got Metropolis right there, nice pieced one. This one's on page 32. Creative Harmony. This is on page 38. I think this is the one we're going to do next here. Yep, A Trip to the Quilt Shop by Laura K. Hauser. This is the one that we are going to start tonight. So a bunch of cute little squares, a cute little border around the whole thing, and some embroidery as well. So let's keep looking at the other ones. We have Octopus. This is an applique feller with a lot of different applique pieces, it looks like. That looks like a fun one. We've been doing a lot of applique lately, though, so I thought, yeah, let's try a piecing one again. And one more, 5 today, so get stitching, everyone. And this one, which I think is just adorable, Adventure Abounds. This is a foundation paper pieced one, and we just started that foundation paper pieced grandfather clock block, so I thought maybe we stick we don't work on the foundation paper pieced one here until we maybe get a little bit farther on the grandfather clock one. So this is on page 122. So you guys, that leaves the one that we wanted to do today is this trip to the quilt shop. We haven't pieced anything, just simple shapes in a while, and today seemed to be the day for that, I think. So let's get started. All right, I got all my fabric kind of laying out here. Let's get a little higher up. Okay. All right, I know I want to use white. So white is my background in all of my blocks. I think we'll leave this yellow part, this border, I think we'll do that as white. And you know what I think we'll do? I kind of like that little square in the middle white as well. So I think we'll do that. So that will be white. So let's choose some of these other colors. I kind of like laying out the background color though, so I can lay the other colors on top of it. Oh, Gretchen says that one of these designers has a killer giveaway right now, so you can find out who. I think they're all doing some sort of giveaway, but if you go to thesplendidsampler.com, there will be a list to all the designers for this week's page, and then they'll have more info on that. All right, So we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 colors going on here. Let's just double check. A cream print square, 4 red squares. I'm assuming that's the cream. 4 red squares, 8 navy, 8 blue, and 4 green. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 colors we need to find. And I'm just kind of pulling what jumps out at me right away. I think this yellow always looks pretty with other ones. We could just be really random here and it'll be okay. That's cute. Let's do that one. You know, we've pre-picked all of our quilt fabrics at the beginning of this project, so it's almost as if I can just randomly close my eyes and pick fabrics for a lot of this. I think, you know, I mean, it's just a cute little patchwork. I think this might be fine, just how I picked up here. But because we've kind of pre-picked things, it is easier for me to just kind of grab and go, I think. I think maybe we should put one of these dark ones. Well, I kind of like this darker swirl one second. I think that's kind of cute. So this is going to kind of represent our navy, which is this one. Like if we go in this order, this bright colored one would be these 4 here. This would be the navy. This would be the blue. And this would be like this last little corners. And I think that's fine. I think let's just go with it. So, all right, we need to cut a pile of these out. So these two, what represents our navy and our blue, are going to be 8 squares. And these we do 4 squares. These are pretty next to each other too. Yeah, let's stick with what we had it. I could be choosing things all night. And then this is 1 square. So I'm going to put these to the side. We'll just do these one at a time. I was thinking of layering all of these and doing them all at once, but I'm a little tired and I'm kind of afraid that, you know, this time of night, if I try and layer them all at once, I'll probably cut something crazy. So we'll just take our time and do it a little bit at a time. So these ones I need 8 1.5 inch squares. So that's 8 inches and another 4 inches. So I need at least a 12-inch little area here. So let's see where we got that. I think this edge, yeah. We'll cut along this edge here. So let's just get that pressed up nicely. Yep, just that little bitty edge. And now let's find an edge for the other one that we need 8 out of. Maybe we'll cut these strips and then we can, yeah, I keep trying to think of ways to combine the work, but, you know, like I said, I think it's maybe just better for me tonight to do it separate. Ooh, this is just 12 inches, so this will work as well, this funny little edge here, which is great. I feel like I'm using up some scrappy bits here. Makes me happy. All of my fabrics have weird chunks cut out of them because we've been using it for this whole Splendid Sampler 2 project so far, so they're all a hair goofy. All right, so I'm going to layer these 2 together. I think we're going to use this bottom edge here as what we match up. We'll cut a nice edge on this, and then we need that 1.5 inch. All right, I think that looks good. Okay, let's start with this guy. We'll get a good edge. Oh, Leslie's saying you don't need the other pattern piece for this one. She's referring to the pattern pieces, like the applique pieces and embroidery pieces that are in the back of the book. She lost one of her pattern pieces, so it's somewhere in the craft room. But yeah, luckily this one's pretty much pieced. There actually is some text in here that we'll embroider. I'm not quite sure what page that's on. I'll have to look further. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, maybe we just trace it. I don't know. Somewhere there's there's a little text on the border. All right, so I'm going to do that double ruler method now because I don't want to turn this around to get that 1.5 inch. I'm going to instead use 2 rulers. So I'm going to line up the 1 ruler here on the edge at the 1.5 inch mark. Okay, and then we'll get a second ruler and bump it up against that one. And then move this ruler away, and that way I don't have to move this because I got these long edges that are matched up all perfectly. I don't want to mess them up, so the 2 ruler method kind of works well for that. All right, move those, well, I guess we still need the rulers. But we don't need this fabric anymore, so both of those fabrics are done. Let's toss those to the side. I love when we get to get rid of our big bulk fabric here. All right, this time though, I think I'm going to rotate my whole cutting board like this. All right, so I'm going to align these on one nice long edge of my ruler, and we're going to trim. Actually, we can probably fold this in half and do both. So I'm going to just fold this. It'll make the work go a little bit faster, and I'm just kind of lining up all these raw edges. It looks like I need to trim about here. I'll just put that piece over. There, so we should be able to get 4 1.5 inch cuts out of here. So 1.5, that's 2, 3, 4. Oh wow, we're gonna be right on the edge, but we'll be able to do it. So, okay, I'm actually gonna start on the folded edge, I think, just because I'm a little nervous about having enough. So let's get ruler out here. I'm gonna give myself, I'm just gonna trim. I'm gonna line up my ruler with an edge here, and so these are along that bottom edge, and I'm gonna just trim off this fold. All right, and again, I'm gonna rotate it again so I can get that. Use this edge, and we'll cut our 1.5 inch marks. 1.5. That doesn't seem all that straight though, does it? You know what? I'm going to switch rulers. I kind of don't like that ruler very much. I like my Omni Grid ruler. There's a lot more lines that I can line up things with. So it wasn't feeling very straight. So now I can line up these dots and this bottom edge. Yep. Okay. I feel a lot better now. All right. That's better. Okay, 2. Okay, here's the 3rd. And 1 more. Oop, I moved things a little bit. That's okay, because I got my ruler. Just gotta line up with my ruler. All right, so that is the scrappies. All right, so now let's see. We should have our 8. Oh, how does the pattern pieces work if you download the Kindle? I would guess there's the ability to print them out still from your Kindle. There's probably instructions on the website as well for that. These ones are really hard to see what's the right and wrong side, but I think I'm going to put all the right sides up. Okay, so those are the first 4 of each. Itty bitty squares, they're so small. I like seeing seeing these swirl patterns in here though. It's still pretty cute. And this is just such a sweet pattern. Okay. Oops, I think I did. Nope, that's right side up. It's hard to tell. All right, so those are our 8. I'm going to just shimmy those to the side for now. And now we need the other 2. Where did those run off to? Oh, down here. Okay, so these ones we are going to do 4 of each print. So one is the one that goes closest to the center, and one is the one that goes farthest away, the four corners. So we need 4 1.5-inch squares out of here. So that's 4 and another 2. So that's 6 inches. So I need at least a little 6-inch area. And this is that weird one that's cut this way. So that should be easy enough to find. Is this 6 inches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, perfect. That's perfect right there. So I'll press that. I'll just shimmy to the side right here where you guys can see. Just quickly. And now let's find somewhere on here. 6 inches, where can I get you? This one's a little bit more goofy looking. Maybe I can snip a 6-inch area out of here. Let's see. 6. If I go this way, then I can trim 6. Yeah. I don't know. I'm tempted to do these 2 separately. I think I might just trim a 6-inch bit right here, and then I'll kind of Frankenstein cut one out of that other place. Man, it's so funny. I'm in like the smallest little work area here, but I still managed to lose my rulers. Like, where the heck did my pink ruler just go? My other pink ruler. Like, seriously, I'm in a space this big and that ruler's gone. Oh well, we'll do the, oh, here it is. I was going to say we'll do the double ruler method with another ruler, but we got this one, so 1.5. There we go. All right, so let's set this one aside. Done with this fabric. And let's find a good area to get this one. I think I might just square cut it out of here. So like, just like trim this whole section off. Wow, I'm being super indecisive of where to cut. I think I'm just going to get it out of this area right here. Okay, so 6 inches. All right, for this one, I'm just going to kind of Frankenstein cut it. So 6 inches. This is maybe a dumb idea, but we're doing it. 6 inches by 6.5. Let's go like this. Hold on. There we go. All right. Ready to cut. All right, so there. Let's cut this little edge off. And we need 1/2 inch. All right, and then we'll rotate it around. And we'll just align that 1.5 inch edge. I think I'll flip this out of the way. Oop. right, there we go. Kind of a little goofy way to get a strip, but we got it. All right, now let's layer these together and get our 4 pieces out of here. All right, so I'm going to trim that one side and then I'll rotate them. So I'm using my ruler again, a nice straight edge, to just trim off this edge here. All right, rotate those pieces. And now the 1.5 inch bits. Okay, 1. Feels weird to be doing all this cutting after all the knitting we've been doing. But that knitting was kind of fun and relaxing. I'm happy we did it. We still have to quilt stuff. We still have a lot of this project to go, but that doesn't mean we can't squeeze in a fun little relaxing craft in the meantime. In the middle of it. All right. Got those guys done, so let's separate those out. Oh, those are sweet together. This again is a difficult right and wrong side fabric. All right, so now all we need is that little white center. We just need the little white center and these white edges. We're going to do white for ours. I was thinking that let's just wait till later to do this border, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, we're here, we got all this fabric, let's just go ahead and do it. So I'm going to put this aside with our other squares, and let's see, we need 1 white square. We can do that one pretty quickly. Oh, and it looks like the strips are also 1.5 inches, so I can do like 1 long strip here, it looks like. I just need, okay, so that's a 1, these are 5.5 inches, so 7, 12, 13, 14. So I need a 14-inch piece, and then I can cross cut a whole pile out, and I think we can probably get a 14-inch piece out of here. This is probably close to, this is more like 18 inches probably. Let's see, yeah, this is like 18 inches. But that might be fine. Why don't we just clean up this edge? I'm going to actually fold it in half, and we will clean up the edge, cut my 1.5 inch, and then we'll cross cut right away here. So all right, let's iron this out. Oh, Leslie, I hope it helped. I hope that the little knitting videos helped. I actually kind of learned more about knitting just by doing it. I haven't knit for a while, but you know, it was just fun. And you know, I learned that new way to do the continental stitch with the pearl. I gotta try that out, like what we talked about last night. And I'm excited. I'm excited to get knitting again. And just, you know, the idea of how to place the bumps, like knitting, you put a bump on the back of the piece, and pearl, you put it on the front of the needle, so back of the needle and front of the needle bumps. Just having that control, I mean, you really can knit a whole pile of things just with that idea. Oh, Kim, on the side pieces you found you needed 7.5 inches instead of the 7. Yellow piece, 2 strips. Oh, you know what? I need a lot more than what I'm doing. I need 2 strips of the 5.5 inches and 2 strips of the 7. So you know what? I need a lot more than I thought. I'm going to just cross cut a couple at the same time. I'll have extra fabric here, but I think this might be just the quickest, easiest way to do it. I'm going to just trim this. I'm going to cut 2 1-inch pieces instead now, and then cut what we need out of it. All right, let's get some rulers. All right, so I'm just getting a nice edge here first. Oh, Debbie, you love my sweater? I am wearing the house sweater again today, you guys. So this is that sweater that my mom knits, and she said it was not a great pattern. Like it was, and this is ages ago. This is like decades ago. But she said that it wasn't a great pattern. It was cool. It looked good at the normal size, but on the small size or whatever, or medium, whatever size that she knit it or as, it didn't get translated as well, she said, as a pattern. So it's just like really weird. It's boxy, it's kind of short, it's just a little goofy, but a couple of years ago I started wearing it as just I'm freezing in this house. I need something warm sweater, and I just love it. It is so toasty. I mean, it's straight wool, and I've been wearing it a couple winters now, and it just, you know, I use it so much that it keeps fraying, and I keep repairing it. So I got, you know, we've been mending it. This is all oh wait, not there. Where is it? There's some mending here, some mending on this elbow. Oh, and it looks like I need to mend more soon. We've replaced the buttons on it. We've done all that here, all here on Facebook, on the Facebook Lives. Here, just we keep mending this, and it looks like this elbow and this wrist needs some love again. But I don't think I've worn this winter yet. We've kind of had a balmy winter, but man, today was the day. It felt right. Okay, here we are. Done with that white bulk fabric. So now let's cut what we need out of here. So I'm going to do this one at a time. I'm going to leave it folded because we have some things that double up. So this side, I'm going to cut my 2 7-inch strips out of. So first I need to trim this edge here. Sweaters being frayed are in style. Oh man, did you guys see? I don't think I posted it on Facebook, but if I find it again, I will post it. Oh man, I'm going to be really bummed if I can't remember this artist. But she mends, if I hear the name, I'll recognize it. But she mends very, very like moth-eaten sweaters, or sweaters with just tons of holes in them. I'm going to use my board as a guide instead of a ruler, so I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I'm going to cut right here. This is my 7-inch, 2 7-inch strips. But they are so cool. The sweaters that she does. So they're like almost like thrift store sweaters that have tons of patterns, you know, like store-bought sweaters. But then she mends it, and it's these huge chunks of mending, and then little spots of mending, like wherever it got eaten. So it's like this totally patterned sweater, but with a big like purple area, and then purple, you know, extra areas. It is so pretty. I just love it so much. All right, you know what? I'm going to get my little 1-inch, my extra little 1.5-inch piece out of this side. So we're going to have a lot of extra fabric, like I said. Oh, I forgot I don't like that ruler. But I'm sure we'll use a white strip of fabric one of these days in this quilt, so I'm not worried. I'm going to find one of her pieces, though, because it is so freaking amazing. All right, so these are our 2 7-inch pieces. So those can sit on the side for us, and here's my little square for the center. And then this side, we need 5.5-inch strips. So I'm going to cut my nice edge there. All right. Boop. And I'll rotate that around. Usually I don't like rotating the fabric. I prefer to rotate the whole piece, but this time we did the fabric. All right. And 5.5 inches. So just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. All right. Whew. And then we got a little strip left over that we can use later for something. All right, you guys, that is that. Cutting is done. I always feel good when the cutting part is done. That's always the most stressful part for me. So let's set this up. It looks like the next thing that we have to do is, and it looks like we will have time to sew. Now we just kind of lay it all out. Yeah, Pressel seam. Okay, arrange the A through E squares in 5 rows as shown, and sew the squares together into rows. So easy peasy. We just lay it out like what it looks like in the picture, and then sew rows together. And we're just gonna work our way through. And then when we're done, we put the edges on. So all right, let's do it. I am going to lay this out. So here are all of our squares. Let's just go in order. These strips I don't need quite yet, so I'm going to put them high out of my way. We'll deal with those later. Okay, so center. And then I had these 4 around it. Okay, so we're going to get kind of a glimpse. Let's put these all in the same direction. I think kind of like... They have like little white tips and they can go all up. All right, so there's that. Next up were these swirls. They kind of surround this in a little diamond. Cute. This is gonna be cute. Okay, so that's that. Next up, we got these little ones. They kind of sit the edges here. Oop, keep dropping them. And then we got four corners here yet. Here, we'll put this guy here. It's got another one of those little hearts. All right, and then we had these bits in the corner. Cute, 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 cute. So it's very subtle. Mine is obviously a lot more subtle than the one in the book, but again, it is because I'm using these subtle, way more subtle colors all throughout my quilt. And then here's these borders will go on as well. So these borders look super small, but remember we're gonna lose, every time we sew one of these squares, we are going to lose 1/4 of an inch. So this is just gonna get sucked in real quick here. So this will be kind of generally the look overall. Again, I'm going to take these strips off. We don't need those right away. And I just wanted to see what it was going to look like. And now we're going to sew these by row. I am going to do that in a little crazy way. And we'll just kind of see how it goes. I'm going to... Okay, this is the part where it gets confusing, and I gotta keep my brain straight a little bit. So I'm gonna sew rows together. So here's this row. I'm gonna actually separate them in rows just so we can see. So let's just scooch these down. This is going to be a row. Me just doing this is like a visual reminder of the rows. Hopefully we don't scramble them all. No one sneeze. Okay, so we got these 5 rows. The way I'm going to sew them together, though, is I'm going to sew this seam together, and then I'm going to jump the next row and do all these seams, and then I'm going to come back up and do the next row. So I'm going to sew by columns, actually, and I might actually leave them all connected. This is kind of what we did for the Charming Chevrons quilt when we left everything connected and we were able to kind of press all at once. I think I might give that a try now. So this might be a little weird, but I think it's going to be kind of fun. So let's sew this seam together first. Then we'll jump up to this seam, then this seam, then this seam. There'll be air in between, so we can. They'll still all be by row, but I think this is going to work out. So let's give it a go. I think it'll make sense once I start doing it as well. So all right, I'm going to get over here, but I'm going to move this over so you can kind of see my rows a little bit here as well. So we're going to take the top 2 here. All right, fold them together and sew that first seam. We'll see how good my scant 1/4 inch seam allowance is as well. Oh, let's start with a leader. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna get my, here we go. Get my little stiletto here out too, just to help me along. Help me guide things a little bit more. I'm a little nervous about my seam allowance, but we'll make it work. All right, so that's row 1. Now we're gonna take the first column of row 2. All right, put those together. Get this guy to help out again. All right, now the first column of row 3. If they're not perfectly aligned, you can scratch it, like kitty scratch it. Scratching the top of the fabric kind of moves it just a tiny, tiny bit. I call it kitty scratching because it's like you're scratching the head of a kitty cat. All right, next column. Scratch, 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 scratch. There we go. Gosh, it feels like we haven't sewn in ages. Man, that knitting just really made it seem like a long time. I suppose there's all the holidays and stuff. Oh, but we've sewn since then. I don't know. It feels weird. All right. Okay, so this is our first row, and I'm gonna throw a leader on the bottom here as well. Okay, so next up, so let's just trim this. Gotta find my little scissors here. Okay. So here is my first column, right? So if we open this up, I'm gonna trim the leader off the top here. If we open this up, this is our first column. So I'm going to leave everything attached. I just have to remember what's the top and the bottom. And I'm going to sew the next piece from the next column on here. So the row 1 for the third column. Let's just make sure I can double check. Yep, the yellow is in the corner, so it goes here. let's flip this together and sew. All right, and let's open this up. It's funny with these little itty bitty pieces. All right, and this piece goes here. Now we got to kind of place it on the flat surface here, which is actually a little easier. All right, there we are. All right, next row. All right, now we have our little white piece. What was this technique called? It was called, oh, like the honeycomb technique or something. Is that right? Of quilting or of piecing for a quilt. Like I said, we did this for the Charming Chevrons quilt. I forget what the process is called though. It's kind of fun. Your whole piece just kind of stays together, which is kind of neat. All right, next up. Webbing. Oh, is that what it was? The webbing technique of piecing blocks together. In this case, just tiny pieces. Instead of the whole quilt blocks, we got tiny 1.5 inch squares. Flip that open. Oh, this is definitely chain piecing Kima, but we're adding that extra technique of leaving all our chain pieces together while we do the next row. I think you guys are right. The webbing technique. Okay, so this is our row 2, or our column 2. I mean, let's trim this guy. All right, and I'm just throwing this guy on the end to take it off the machine. All right, trim. All right, that's the bottom still. I just got to keep track of what's the top and the bottom, right? All right, so here our pieces are starting to be a row, and then, ultimately we might just be able to sew them together like this, which will be kind of fun, but they're all together still, so let's do the next column. We're kind of sewing this whole thing really quickly. Like, I wasn't thinking we'd actually get this far tonight, sewing all these pieces together, but, this kind of is speeding up the process a bit, I think. Oop, here we go. Okay. Open that up. Next piece. Yeah, this definitely, will keep us from, losing a row or accidentally sewing a row upside down and all that, because it's all just connected, which is just fun. It's just another technique, It's just another way of doing things. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, Bonnie. I could put a clip on the top piece, and then I'll always remember, oh yeah, that's the top. Maybe I'll do that. So I got a wonder clip just sitting here. I know this is the top. Let's just boop there. Now I'll always know that that's the top, just in case I throw this on the ground or something. Who knows? All right, next. I mean, it is a little crowded down here while I do this with, just these little pieces of threads holding this together. But I still like it. It's not that big of a deal, I think. All right, and next, one more row to go, or one more column. Okay, get the leader in there. trim, and it's coming together. Trim this guy off the top too. Whoa! Runaway stork. Okay, our row's coming together. Look how little these pieces are. Okay, last up, last column. My gosh, look how much they shrunk. They are just, it's just a tiny, tiny little row now. It looks totally different. There we are. Starting to fall in love with the black. There's always a moment where I go from like to love on the black, and I think I'm starting to feel it. It's coming. I think it's by doing this little web. I like how these just shrunk up. They're so cute. All right. Man, it's hard to get them together here. Scratch the top. All right, open this one. Okay. Two more. I think when we're done chain piecing these guys, or web chain piecing these guys together, we'll probably call it a night here. Tomorrow I think we'll be able to, besides the embroidery, I think we'll pretty much be able to finish this tomorrow, easy peasy. We'll press it. All these rows get pressed in the opposite direction, so we can nest all the seams together and get perfect points. I think we can do that with everything still connected, which would be kind of fun. So let's give that a try. And I'm gonna leave that clip on so I can remember what the top and the bottom is. But here we go. I'm gonna lift you guys up and we'll take a look at this. Okay, so let's see if we can see anything. All right. So there's the first row. I'm just gonna kind of finger press it open so we can peek at it. It's coming together. I love how we went from a big square to like a weird scrunched in rectangle, and then it'll all shrink down this way yet too. Oh, Roxanne, I think, yes, I should be able to steam press on my wool mat. I don't have water in my machine right now, but I think we'll be fine without it. But there we are. Look at that. So weird looking. But yeah, we can, let's plop our little white borders on the top. Hopefully these ended up being about the same size. That's a good sign. All right, that goes there. This goes down here, and these still need to scrunch up a whole ton for these ones to work, but it's kind of funny. I just love it. I love the look at this. But isn't that cool? Isn't that cool that these are all just connected still? So I will always know what goes where. So tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to press our seams so they go in opposite directions, which that might be a little difficult to do when they're all connected like this, but we're going to give it a try. And then I think while this is still connected, we'll fold one row over and sew it. Then we'll fold the next row over and sew it. I think you can just literally keep it together like this, which will be just kind of goofy, but you know, keeping it together here. Love this technique. All right, you guys, I'm going to flip you around. I'll show you what this looks like. And you can just dangle it. It's just kind of fun. Hello, hello. So here, I'll show you this in a sec here. All right, here we are. Coming together. But yeah, give this a try if you want. This webbing style of chain piecing. It's just another way of doing something. I do think it goes fast though. Like I'm not sure we would have had all those rows sewn tonight that quickly and that managed, I suppose. Like this is a lot of pieces to keep in order, and I think I would have gotten confused pretty quickly of what goes where. But this, you know, I hardly had to think at all for to do it this way. So awesome, you guys! I will get this up on YouTube if you wanted to watch this way of the web piecing again. And I will be here again tomorrow. I think we can just about finish the piecing of this at least. Maybe transfer the design for the embroidery. We'll see. It'd be nice to be able to transfer it already so that next time we work on it, we can just start up right away without having to deal with all that. I'd love that. So that'll be the goal for tomorrow. So awesome, you guys! I will see you then, 8:30 p.m. Central Time tomorrow on the Penguin and Fish page here. So good night. Have a great evening.